Hey y'all, happy Friday. I just wanted to hop on here. I was thinking about it. I had a conversation with Kinley, my stepdaughter, who's 21, who's fantastic. And she and I were having this conversation about, we were talking about communication and different things. I know. The conversations that I have with all my kids are pretty incredible. But anyway, we were talking about how your posture affects your confidence, and how when she has to get out and speak in front of people that she does a power pose for like 2 minutes to get her confidence up. And she said it changes everything. And I was telling her in high school, I had a teacher that when we used to have to get out and give a presentation, basically did the same thing. And he would have us stand up straight, and he would have us actually repeat, I'm not going to do it here, but a few lines from Romeo and Juliet from Shakespeare, because it made you slow down, particularly me and another friend, because we spoke kind of fast. But it did, it slowed you down, slowed your heart rate down, it did all these things. Well, turns out when your mama told you to sit up straight, put your chin up when you were sad, things like that, those are legit. It's called embodied cognition. I did write down some notes. It's called embodied cognition, and it's fascinating if you haven't read anything about it. So basically, they used to think that, you know, our mind controlled our body, which to a most degree it does. To the large extent, it does. But as far as can your body affect your mind? Absolutely. And so it's called embodied cognition, and it turns out cognition is not confined to your cortex. You can change the way you feel, and not just emotionally, but chemically. If you get, like, for example, the power pose, like we call it, the conference I was at this summer, they called it your Superwoman pose or your Superman pose, where you stand up straight. You can't see me, but I got my hands on the hips. Put your legs apart, chin up, shoulders back, and stand up straight. And if you do that, whatever your power pose is, for 2 minutes every day, that increases your mood, it increases your confidence, it increases your testosterone, decreases your cortisol, and gives you that confidence and decrease in stress. So, you know, kind of like, I don't know, you see animals do it. I mean, they strike this power pose and like stare people down, or like, yeah, come at me, bro, right here. So, turns out humans can do it too. And I don't think it's any coincidence, I'm just gonna throw this out there, that I don't think it's any coincidence, obviously, that we see this huge increase in depression. Well, there's a ton of factors for it. Everyone's in their phone, no one's face to face. I mean, there's a bazillion, we're all busy, which everybody sees as a badge of honor. It's not. But think about your posture when you're on your devices. This is what you're doing the whole time. You're slumped over, chin down, looking at your stuff, or you're laid on the couch staring at something, or you're on the computer down like this, hunched over. This is not a power pose. This is when you see people that are depressed or sad or whatever. It's not a happy pose. You guys, you can pull yourself out of a funk to some degree by moving your body, whether it's, I know oh gosh, I wish we had it here, Daybreakers. My friends in New York are all going to Daybreakers, and I'm so jealous, I can't stand it. Not jealous, envious. I'm happy for them, but wish I could be there. But they go in the mornings, and I think they do some yoga too, but they dance. They turn the music on like you would in a nightclub on a Friday night, and dance for, I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour. Patrick, you tell me. I don't know how long it is. But they dance from like 7 to 8 in the morning, and like celebrate. The whole place is just like moving. And then they go on about their business and go to work or whatever they have to do. You guys, that's phenomenal. Can you imagine starting your day like that? You could conquer the world. So anyway, the way you move your body, like when you're trying to learn something, which is probably why our kids have such a hard time, not my kids' school, they move, they're constantly going, but a lot of schools in general, remember, or when I was in school, you sat in one spot and listened to somebody talk, and just, you know, your brain was just gone. You were worried about who you were playing kickball with at recess and if you were going to get picked for the team. you weren't there. But if you learn, y'all can tell I learn, I move. If you want to get me quiet, make me sit on my hands because I can't talk. I know we're Swedish, but I think some part of me is Italian. Anyway, if you move your body when you're learning and you say things profoundly with emphasis and you move your hands and you move your body and get up and learn, you will retain it way better than you will if you're just, you know, reading it or staring at somebody who's talking about it or whatever. If you actually get up and move your body, those are the times when you remember things most. Because your brain it's basically imprinting all of that in there in your embodied cognition. Also, a couple of articles I read were talking about how we use metaphors, physical metaphors all the time, telling our brain things like, I'm on top of it, which means I'm up here, I'm on top of it. Or, oh, I'm feeling down today. Down. Your body's down, you're feeling down. What was another one? So-and-so, oh, he's under my control. He's under me, under my control. Don't. So anyway, see if there was something else I had to say on here. I told y'all about the power pose. Told you about that it will increase your testosterone levels and it will decrease your cortisol. And your cortisol is your stress hormone. So it decreases your stress and increases that testosterone, that confidence hormone. I guess you can call it a confidence hormone. There's a lot of things you could call it. But it's good for mood. It's good for confidence. So if you find yourself in a position where you need some confidence and maybe you're lacking at that moment, do your power pose. Who cares what people think? I don't care what people think. Get your shoulders up. Stand in your power pose. I tried to get, when I was speaking at a school recently, I tried to get a student to do it. Bless her. She just would not do it. And I guess I can remember being in high school or when you were like, you're weird. But one of the seniors was like, girl, and she stood up and did it. And that girl, of course, she already had confidence up to here. She's going to take this world by storm. But she was like, get up and do this. It feels good. And we need to be teaching our kids. This is a life skill, if you ask me. We need to be teaching our kids life skills because everything else they can find on the Google. I'm here to tell you. They can find it on Google. I mean, they need to learn how to read and write and do math and all. I mean, they need to know all the basics. But what I'm saying is they also need real life skills, especially because their interpersonal skills nowadays, in a word, they suck. They suck. They cannot look you in the eye. They have difficulty saying I'm sorry or just learning the stuff that we used to learn in school because we didn't have, you know, y'all remember this? We were putting glue, you know, Elmer's glue down the ruler and waiting for it to dry and then peeling it off and playing with it. Do y'all remember that? That's sad. I'm talking my kids' age, like 5th, 6th grade. And they have the world at their fingertips, but they have their social skills are sad. So anyway, this is just real life stuff that you can use. Hopefully, you can take something from this and use it and it will help you in your everyday life. That is my hope. And I hope y'all have an absolutely fantastic weekend. We've got this big yellow ball in the sky that's putting off heat and it's fascinating. We haven't seen it in so long, I almost didn't recognize it. So you guys have a wonderful weekend.